Let's see. It's about to load. It's loading. Um, all right, it's on you, my friend. Yeah, we go ahead and get started. Shoot, what happened? What the hell happened in Dallas, Texas last night?
It was a main event. You win some, you lose some. But like I was saying, I'm not a man of excuses. I live and die by my performance on the field. Just so happens last night we didn't perform to the best of our abilities. When you live and you talk shit and usually you back it up, sometimes you catch one, you catch a L. It's bound to happen, especially when you're playing against someone that's, a formidable opponent that has trained for 2 straight weeks just to beat you. It's bound to happen. Call me slipping. Regardless, 30 live streams, 30 people showed up at 12:30.
It was waiting on you. It was waiting for y'all.
And that's appreciated. We worked really hard to build this brand. Sometimes like the real life Cowboys, we don't get it done. It's just, but if we go into the actual gameplay, fresh off the flight, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, talk to me real quick. I'll be back in a second.
Fresh off the flight, a little tired, had a long day, but like I said, no excuses. Mike's texting me all day.
All day.
For the last 2 days, not to put my man's on the spot, but he was ready to play, and as he should be. Game kicks off. He's driving down the field. I already know how he's going to play. He's going to sit in that 3 wide receiver shotgun formation the whole game, and I was prepared for that. Mentally, my players, they weren't ready. They were a little sleepy out there. So the first drive, he scores pretty quick. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
And I was adjusting. It was all right. I felt confident in what we could do going forward in the game. I think that first drive, I come down the field pretty easily, and then I throw a very stupid throw. I try to force it to Deshaun. My free form didn't really hit the back shoulder. I think I overthrew him. That was a sign of the rust. I was like, all right, let me wake up a little bit. Next possession, I force him to throw a pick. Trayvon. I was like, all right, I'm in action. We're here. Starting to feel more natural, like how I usually play Mike. Come on.
That.
Like, all right. I think I scored. I drove up the field. I scored. Hold on, somebody.
Well, for context, we got Kenny here. I don't know why I paused. It shouldn't pause. It should be going. But anyway, we got Kenny. We got live reaction from Dallas, and he's coming back. So yeah,
good. They trying to sabotage my interview and everything. It's crazy. It's just so much pressure, Like I was saying, I wasn't prepared, like I should have been. Right. I drove up the field. I threw a dot to CD for the touchdown.
Yeah, that was nice. I remember that. That was nice.
I threw 3 picks in the whole game, and I think I had 2 incompletions aside from that. I was dying in the run game. He's Tampa Bay, so he held it down there.
He was running free,
and I expected that. His team is stacked, and just knowing his playing style, I knew what he was going to do. I was prepared for that. But once that momentum started going crazy, I think he had the momentum where my DBs lose coverage. So he was getting off the line crazy on me. We had to talk to them at half. and they just didn't seem motivated. You know,
Yeah.
they didn't seem like they really wanted to play that night. You know, and that's on me. I didn't prepare the team. You know, I wasn't focused as an owner and a coach. It's my job to get them correct.
Now,
But
let me ask you this.
go ahead, because
I had a
this game is irrelevant. To be honest, this game is irrelevant to the season.
Why is it because it's just week one, or is it because you just know them so well that you feel you can bounce back if you got to play again, like in the playoffs or something?
Yo, me and Mike, it's like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Like when it comes to that rivalry,
Right.
he might get some wins here and there, but I'm gonna get some wins too. When we play head to head, we need to have a conversation about who's really like that, who's not. When I introduced him to the league, I smacked him 45 or something. You know, actually, he put a poster of it in his crib. Like that was his motivation. I didn't have the motivation.
True.
You feel me? I didn't have it. And that showed. That showed in my performance. This was my second game playing.
In the whole
simulation.
The whole Madden?
I've only played head to head online. So it's a completely different experience. I didn't have any of the pre-season scrimmages. I've only played Mark Chargers and I played Mike in the regular season. Yeah. Two formidable opponents. But that's where I am mentally. Like, if I'm gonna play, I gotta play somebody decent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No offense to the other guys, but I wasn't gonna scrimmage, you know. Jose, I wasn't gonna scrimmage, man. I just wasn't gonna do it. But I probably should have, because it showed in my performance. You know what I mean? But looking at my schedule,
we look at it real quick.
People are in trouble. Man. People are in trouble. You know, people are gonna think I'm sweet after this week one game against someone who's played, you know, the last whole month just for this one game to beat me. I'm playing Bengals next. Darryl was the Giants last year, and he's never beat me in his life.
Yeah, ain't no reason why you should lose that game, especially based on what I saw yesterday.
For someone that's extremely rusty, I show signs, especially for someone that they say cannot pass the ball. I was passing the ball. That's just what it is. You know, the running game is a compliment to my passing game. That's just what it is nowadays. You'll get kills. I mean, I'm always going to be a balanced play.
Right.
Regardless. I think I ran the ball 17 times. I think I threw the ball 20 times or something like that. I'm always going to be balanced, successful enough. I'm just not here for the bubble. You know? No offense to the homie. Like, you know, come on. I never saw no NFL team come out in 3 wide gun every play of a game. Like he thought he was I don't know, Alabama or something. Like, I don't know what's like, bro, playing NCAA, you know, like, what we doing? But that's okay. That's his style. But I knew that going in. I just wasn't prepared to defend it the way I should have. But going forward, Bengals, who I play Swan, I think, after that.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a link to your. Matter of fact, I can just type it in right here. Yeah, you definitely play Bengals next, and you should win that. There's no reason why that game should even be close. Even when he won yesterday, the way he got to that victory was so damn it's such a scenic route that it's just like it's no reason why. But I got your schedule here. So first, so the Tampa Bay loss. I'll come back to that.
Yeah, we could dive into that one a little deeper, but the reality is, we putting that past us.
I'm gonna say this about the game though. This is the one thing I thought. This is where I thought like the game was essentially over when he scored and you got the ball right before halftime. I was like, Kenny, full momentum. I'm like, Kenny just. Me and Jeremy was watching on Zoom last night, and we were like, just go to half. Just run, just get to halftime and deal with whatever in the third quarter. Maybe the momentum goes down because of halftime, but either way, just get out of it.
Yeah, man.
When
That was definitely a panic moment for me. That was my one. That was my one panic moment of the game. But I don't even think that's what cost me. It was the drive before that when Zeke fumbled. The game ended after that.
yeah.
The game ended. Like, because that was my third drive of the game. I had just scored, and I stopped them. I was driving up the field. I think I was at the 30-yard line or something. And Zeke fumbled after a gang tackle, and he ran it back, and I was done. And then he scored again. And then I felt like I needed to do something, like with 30 seconds, I think, with the half to come. And I did a simple 8-yard run with Dak, and he got tackled from behind and fumbled. It's like, come on, bro. Like,
I saw it, so I was like, "Is something bad gonna happen?" Like, there was the circumstances.
Yeah, there was a lot of fumbles happening.
Yeah, it was. It was like fumbles,
honestly,
all that.
Yeah, and like that was the difference in seeing the sim and the franchise versus head to head. His line was closing in on some gaps like I haven't seen yet. You know what I mean? So it was an adjustment for me at first. And then by the time I figured out the adjustment, the fumbles started happening. So it was really a fight the whole game for me. So it was a tough loss.
Yeah, I do think I think you have an advantage in a way. Like, granted, you probably still gotta get just more games under your belt, but you don't gotta learn the game twice, so like a lot of people did. Like, you didn't play maybe all that much head to head. So it's like coming to the sim now, it's not a whole other learning curve from what you are. It's just like, all right, I gotta get used to Madden, really just like in this format rather than playing a bunch head to head and then gotta get used to it all over again in sim. Like, you just got a one track to get it right. But got your schedule here. So you got Cincinnati, then you got Tone, then you got Twan, then Kerm, then Jeremy. That's your next 5.
That's a good schedule. You know, I hear a lot of chatter about Tone. I've watched him play. I'm not like, what are we talking about? Like he shows flashes, but I think his playing style is kind of indicative of how he is in the chat. You know, like he's just gonna jump in there and try to make a play that's gonna cost him. You know, he's gonna make mistakes. And I'm known to capitalize on mistakes. You know, I pride myself on my secondary play, even though it didn't show last night. That's, you know, I pride myself on it. Like, I'm the best user safety that we've ever seen in this league. That's
you got a good one. You got a good one. I'll say that.
We're gonna put that out there. So I'm not worried about that. Twan, I look forward to playing Twan. I think I've only played Twan once before when he was the Bengals. But I like his playing style, which is, we'll get to Kerm after. Like, there's certain like players that I like playing against because it feels like a strategy to me. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna play within the confines of the game the same way I do. So it feels more of a chess match versus me trying to chase the money plays around.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's like playing YouTube. Kerr, I'll be honest, he's one of my favorite people to play against. So I'm loving this conversations in the chat now. I'm loving this new energy.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna have to have a conversation about this new energy that some people are having in the chat. Because I might have birthed that too.
Oh, word?
I heard you talking about it. I heard Twan talking about it, but the league was kind of quiet for a little while. And I had to put some life and put some.
Now you did. You definitely injected something in the league as far as the energy and all that. I remember that episode we did. Even before that, you had the press conference of your own and all that. Like, you definitely got a part in bringing the culture back. And
I think sometimes that gets misconstrued. You know, I heard Mark call me a fake tough guy. Ain't nothing tough about me. You feel me? Like, I'm in here in the sunshine. I'm chilling. You know, I come with love, but I come with truth too.
Right. And
it's like, win or lose, I'm gonna back it up. No one expected me to come up there and talk to you after a loss.
Right.
But I'm here to own my end. a lot of people, they come with this fake humility. Like, oh, I'm just here. I'm glad to be here. Nah, this matters, bro. Like, what you here to win, you here to lose, you here to talk, you just gonna be quiet. Like, where's the fun in that? Like, you gonna take your wins and just go home? Like, you gonna take your L's and just go home? Nah, we talking the whole way through. So I'm gonna talk whether I win or lose. I'm gonna tune in regardless. Y'all gonna tune in more to see me lose. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
It's the Floyd Mayweather effect, and I'm happy to be here. That's how I self-motivate. So when week 5 comes around, I'm playing Kern. He's in for a rude awakening. I hope he goes undefeated until that game.
He going on vacation, but I think you're his first game when he gets back though.
That's a shame because he's gonna use that as an excuse. He brings the PlayStation with him. I might buy him the OS where he could plug it into his phone just so he could practice. Because I don't need any excuses. He plays straight up, and I'm gonna appreciate the gameplay. That it's gonna be a good game. We both have good teams, and I think we're due for a good matchup. And I think that game will put me back on notice where I should be. But then we get to week 6.
Week 6, yeah, let's talk about it.
This episode is actually dedicated to Jeremy because, I heard him speak about Lil Wayne, and that inspired him for his first game. Underrated, understated, all of that. I feel that. So this episode should be called The Dedication, actually, if we're talking about Wayne. And the truth is that God did so. Someone came after him that, if you ask anybody, kind of destroyed him on the track. We're talking about both, and that's where I am in this conversation. Like, if we compare it, like, Jeremy is a great player, just like Wayne is a great rapper. But there's levels. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate someone. I appreciate someone that plays defense like he does and focuses on the defensive end. But I've seen Jeremy play. I've seen the matchups between you and him. I don't think he stands a chance. And that's not even me trying to just talk crazy, like, I think he's going to be so focused on the wrong elements of my game that it's really going to hurt him. And I think that might be one of the most watched games too, because
it's going to be good.
And even on another note, my star power in this league, just from the Dallas machine and the advertising that goes into our marketing budget, we're gonna have to have a talk about how Jeremy's gonna be in those top conversations after being in the NFC East with me. And that's just from, this new rivalry we have, right? I don't remember Jeremy talking crazy in the chat. Even with y'all rivalries. I remember y'all playing the games. It was mostly you doing the work, you feel me? Like, I think he's gonna hop on the shoulder right here. And I'm gonna bring him to the promised land. He might sneak into the NFC Championship, but he's not gonna do it as quietly as he might have in the past.
Now,
I'm giving star power to him. You know what I'm saying? And that's something Hov would do. You feel me?
Let me ask you this. I may or may not have heard that there's an open invitation for you to mic up in week 6. How you feel about it?
That's the thing. That's the thing. That's not my playing style. And I'm not about to be uncomfortable playing. I'll gladly do a conversation prior to the game and after. But when I'm playing, I don't get on the mic. That's just not my thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna compromise myself when I know I do have to perform.
Right.
He is a good opponent. I'm not gonna sugarcoat his abilities. But this reminds me of when I was in the NFC East last cycle and we had Mark there. Mark is a better player than Jeremy.
Yeah.
But Mark will tell you, I had him feeling some pressure in that division. He beat me. I beat him. There were times when I finished above him. You know what I mean? What happens in the playoffs is another conversation. The reality is, I come out there and play, and people want to act like I just talk just to talk. Like, I've been here since the beginning of the league. Let's not get
Right, you OG.
I've been here. I never won a Super Bowl. I never act like I won a Super Bowl. But there's only one cycle that I never like consistently made the playoffs, and that's when I was the Lions, and I came in late.
Oh, right.
And I consistently was like 8-8, or I would be one game under 500, and I would either get a wild card, or I wouldn't make the playoffs. Other than that, I'm second round, third round of the playoffs, first round.
I remember that firsthand. I remember that NFC Championship we played way back.
And I never sugarcoat it. I never act like, I never act like I'm the best in the league. But we're not gonna act like I ain't been here. We're not, it's like you feel like you gotta remind everybody. And it's like, that's a shame. It's disheartening. The things that I've done in this league on the field, off the field, it's just impressive. And sometimes things that are impressive go over people's heads.
Yeah, that's fair.
They want to downplay it. But, looking at the schedule again, I got those games scheduled, circled.
Right.
Now we go to Lions.
Yeah.
Jose, he's quick with the jabs. He likes to talk a little bit, but let's be real. He's the Lions. He's done. The Bears. Who's the Bears?
That's JT.
Oh yeah, JT was in my overrated section. He's done. Then we got a well-needed bye. Packers, don't even matter who the Packers. You're done. Vikings done. Tone again. You're done. Colts. That's Evan.
Yeah.
Nah. And then we got you.
Yes, sir.
That's circled also. I think this is the year I get you. I think this is the year I get you just because you're the Texans, and I'll be honest with you.
You know what? This might be your best chance.
And to me, that doesn't count as much.
Right.
If I do get you this year, it doesn't count as much, but I think I get you. And then Jags, that's dead. Come on.
Yeah.
Then we going back to Jeremy. Jeremy might sneak one. I'm not saying I'm going to sweep him, but he might sneak one. Titans, yeah. Yo.
They in action right now.
I might lose 2 games. I might lose 2 or 3.
So we talking what, 13 to 14 wins? We can expect that from you?
It's like the only mites on the schedule is Jeremy. Maybe Kerm get me if he's feeling good that day. If Mays take over the controller. I haven't beat you, so I can't guarantee that one. And everyone else, Twan don't look like he's 100%. So it's not looking like too much of a challenge.
I say this, Twan wanted to do something different because he played the Jacksonville secondary who, ain't no premier players. He go doing that against your secondary, it's going to be a long day.
On through 8 picks, right? Against the Jags. I might get 16. And then, and that's scary because, in the past, commissioners are known for like targeting me with the suspensions. And I can't, if Trayvon Diggs get 5 picks in a game, I'm supposed to bench him. Like if Twan want to play catch with Trayvon Diggs, like that's not my fault.
Right.
I'm expecting Twan to perform. I think it's a learning curve for some of us. Some of us need to get back into action. I think Twan is a good player. I think me and Twan should do a press conference too because he gets it. He gets the.
Oh yeah, he get the formula.
Like even outside of just playing, like He knows what this league is about.
100%.
You know, so that should be a good one. The NFC East is looking like an exciting division, and I'm expecting to come out on top of it because I think Jeremy's schedule is a little tougher than me.
I think so because wasn't he a first place team? No. I think depending on how it shake out, it's similar, but yeah, it's pretty comparable on both sides.
See, Manny's my man's, but there's no reason he should be losing the Tennessee.
Like I think he's saying his internet is iffy right now.
I was just in Miami too, and I feel bad. I didn't check in with him. It's probably why he had Trick Daddy on my head. But the rain was going crazy out there, so his internet probably is a little choppy right now. It's a shame. Got those bills. Like, he's letting Griselda down.
It's looking bad right now.
What are your expectations for it? Because I've been quiet, and
for you,
I kind of know your expectations because I've tuned into the different pods, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel a little slighted. I have to admit. And even with all the guests that have been up here, I think the highest he had me is like wild card. And it's like, we just went through the schedule. Right? There's not too many. Even if I lost the Kern,
right,
Jeremy once, and that's it. and you. If I lost those 3 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's 4 losses under my belt. That sounds like playoffs to me.
See, I think you come into the season. I'm like, either you or Jeremy should win that division. Tone, no, partly because of the team, partly because of his playing style. Like, he could sneak and get somebody, but I don't know if his playing style is going to be able to give him like consistent wins. Twan, I just gotta see it, and I don't see it right now, so I can't even. It's you and Jeremy for the division, and I think whoever don't win that division will be still in the playoffs. So I see you in the playoff mix. It's just a matter of like last night. It's like
it'll be matching.
Are you going to do things that's going to like kind of hurt your chances, like the halftime thing, or like even though you're passing and you had one at one time. You had no actual incompletions. You either had completions to your guys or completions to, the opponent.
Yeah.
So I'm looking like that's where I see you in the playoffs, but it's like I see you and I could see you and Phil playing in the playoffs, in which
Phil's who, the Packers?
Yeah, he Green Bay. I would give you the advantage, but it's not to where it's like that. It'd be like kind of like that, where like he plays a certain way that you want to. But
I think thinking about my schedule, I think I'm going to get stronger as the season goes on. That's just natural progression. Yeah. And it's like I got the toughest game out of my schedule out the way, in my opinion. And that's not a slight to any of my other opponents. That's just from history. The only person I've played in Madden 23 so far is Mike. So he knew exactly what I was going to do.
Right. That's like he was playing or something like that.
Exactly. And he was prepped and I wasn't prepped. And I'm not a man of excuses. That's my fault. But I got that out of my system. And now I need to, get back to what I know best. I know one thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few players out there that watched that game last night and they're like, dang, I gotta reevaluate how I play him.
Oh yeah.
He's throwing like that. He got Deshaun Jackson too.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, nice little catch on that left side.
He got and if you look at it, everybody had about 5 catches for about 70 yards, a couple of touchdowns. We spreading the ball around like we're not just throwing. We're not. This is diversity and inclusion over here. We're not just throwing it to Amari Cooper. Everybody getting some money out here. I would have ran back a kick if you didn't steal my Devontae Turpin off my these
Hey.
players. You know, I saw that too, but you know, it's things like things like obstacles like that I got to deal with. You know what I mean?
This universities, right?
It's just tough. It's a tough battle, and when you laugh, because naturally I'm a quiet dude. You know,
Right. Same.
but when when it's time to perform and you talking like it's time to perform, you either use that as self-motivation or you crumble. And whether I win or lose, I'm never gonna crumble. I'm aware whatever I say proudly. You know what I mean? So all that fake humility, that happy to be here, you're not going for nothing. You see through that. And I'm calling it out for now on. If you come in the chat talking about, yo, you too loud. I'm just, I'm glad that, I'm just playing hard. I'm trying to, nah, man, especially you, Kurt. You got your W on Manny. I'm not trying to hear none of that. No, you hype. I know you hype. You won that game, bro. Don't act like you not. You see through it. You better own it. Because when when week 5 comes, you gotta own that L too. And Jeremy, man, listen. Jeremy, he seemed like a great guy,
Solid guy.
And he seemed like I would grab a brew with Jeremy. But the reality is, I don't think he's prepared. I don't think he's prepared for the show that we're gonna put on. We're in New York City. It's quick to get to Philly. I might set up the PlayStation in front of the Liberty Bell.
Woo!
That's the type of time we are this year.
Yes,
once
sir.
we get the rust off, we back to the theatrics. And we gonna get back to taking the league by storm.
Hey, I'm here for it. Look, the more theatrics, the better. And even on this show, like they don't even understand what's about to happen. Like, oh, that was a good touchdown right there. I see it on this stream, but that was a good touchdown. We got a one score game now, but they don't know what's coming on this show though. Like whether it's obviously you were traveling, so the thing with you and Mikey didn't happen this time around, but it's cool. I'm sure there'll be future chances, but we could do you and Jeremy. Shoot, for those who don't know, what I want to introduce to the league, starting maybe as early as I don't know, because if Manny go 0-2, then my idea for week 3 is probably out the window, and we'll see. But want to have like if y'all know boxing, and shout out to boxing for getting the Crawford and Spence deal or the fight in place. I'm rocking with Bud. That's just me. But I like Spence too. But my money's on Crawford. But anyway, if y'all know the old 24/7 or on Showtime, the All Access, that's what we gotta start bringing to the league. So I'll just sit here and moderate, and we can have Kenny and Jeremy. We can have Brandon and Manny. It could be whoever, whatever, 2 players that are going to play, and it's going to be a big event. We just set up right here. If people want to talk, they talk. Then we set it up, add the hype to the game, or if we want to do a post-game style, we can do that too. It really don't matter to me. All I'm saying is I got an obligation for the culture. And, along with the help of multiple others, such as our lovely guest today, like, we back, man. Like, we all the way here with it. Yeah.
We back in full effect, man. And before I get out, I'm gonna just say this. Appreciate you on pushing the culture forward with this league.
Yes, sir.
And I got a call to action to anybody in the league, whether I play you or not. You got a problem with the Dallas Cowboys? You can IG DM me. You can group me DM me. Man, I'll catch a flight to anywhere, and we could play in your house and live stream that.
Woo!
Like, I see too much talking from the sidelines in the chat, from bench warmers. There's a reason why Mays lost, Reggie lost, and I lost.
Why's that?
the game just didn't want greatness to prevail for week one. And that's just the reality, I wish I was playing Broncos this year because I still got a grudge against Monk, It's just we'll say that for another interview.
Yeah,
but anybody could get it, man. But Kerr and Jeremy, I'm coming for y'all.
Those are two.
I'm coming for y'all. Respectfully, of course. But the theatrics will be here. If I destroy Jeremy or Kerr, there will be a billboard in Times Square. And that's all I'm doing. Hold me to that.
Woo! And it's funny. Mikey said, he told me that the other week. He was like, yo, Kenny might put a billboard. I'm like, yo, if that happens, that would be unprecedented, uncharted territory.
And that's what we need to move this league forward.
Facts.
We're gonna get this league monetized.
Yo,
I know.
I swear. Well, we got enough right now.
It's coming, and we're gonna put our heads together to figure it out. But it takes effort from all of us.
It takes a village
to push it forward. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And once people stop being scary and get to talking how they really want to talk,
say how you feel and all that.
We can move this to another level. But on that note, appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate everybody in the league. And let's have a good season.
Hey, we holler at you. We're gonna be keeping our eyes out, Dallas, and yeah, man. We be down there week 14, so we see you then. I'm sure we see you on here even sooner than that.
You already know. It's an open invitation to Kenny's room.
Yes, sir. All right.
Peace.
So there you have it, right? There you have it. The one and only owner of the Dallas Cowboys, Kenny Worrell himself. Can I be a manager? Hit him up on IG if you want to smoke. DM him on GroupMe. It don't really matter. But let's get to this. Let's get to this game real quick, though, right? Because Manny's staring 0-2 down the barrel of a shotgun right now. And I got the game right here on the TV, but for the sake of this cast and this show going on, here we are, right? I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the game throughout while Kenny is talking. I'm just seeing Bean look good right now. I don't know why or how Tannehill was in most of the game the last time around. Maybe Willis got injured or something. This is my first look at Malik Willis on the game. And I see the potential problems he can pose, right? So Bean looking good. I mean, he's throwing it well. He's using the mobility as he should. Derrick Henry's looking like a man possessed out there. Like, man, just do a pit. Oh, sure enough, you'll see it on here in a minute. Christian Fulton, dog. Yo, it's about to be an afternoon in here. Oh man. So check it out right here on the cast. Check it right here on the Redocast, presented by the good folks at YSN Network. Watch this right here. So let's just look at it, right? He's down 14. Okay, cool. Okay, look now look at this. Bean has this the whole way. Like, why are we throwing this? 99 throw power don't matter. Listen, y'all. I'm gonna say it every day until we understand it, until everybody gets it. Game management matters, man. Decisions matter, right? The intellect, it matters. You don't throw that there. Your quarterback is great, Manny. Josh Allen's the top 5, maybe top 3 quarterback in the game, depending on what you value, what you like. Certainly, he's that in real life, top 5 quarterback, in the real world. But you gotta let it fight another down sometimes. Even when you're down 14 in the fourth quarter, and you try to make something happen. It's like if that option ain't there, you might need to check it down. If circle ain't open, you might need to. I don't got some mobility. Like, use the legs. We gotta. Actually, I ain't gotta do nothing. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do though. In Houston, we are going to make the best play possible. even if that best play is, a 2 yard, 4 yard check down, doesn't that beat a change of possession? Doesn't that beat a 12 yard loss in the sack? I'm just throwing stuff out there now. Like we have to manage the game properly. But also, I'm not sure what's up with his internet. I know he was talking about it in the chat. So, I don't know the inner workings of what he's fully experiencing right now. I'm just going off of the footage, the tape that is on hand right now. And let me say this. Let me throw it back because now we can get into the episode real quick, or at least like the solo episode portion of this. Yo, Ed Oliver is a good player. Like I could say before I get to what I was about to say, I can say Manny playing against Manny like the couple of times I did before the league started. It wasn't Von Miller that was making most of the plays. It was Ed Oliver that was like really getting in there and doing his thing. So you'll see it right here, and this is a lot of what he was doing in the preseason, if that makes sense. Like just disruptive in the backfield, but it means kind of Derrick Henry already at buck 25. So it's like, where was it? Oh, now watch what happens on this next play. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. That probably ended the game. Oh, that ended the game. I mean, it was probably already over, but that pull up at he just stopped. Like, dang, that sucks. But anyway, let me go back to what I was saying. Right, today is Thursday, and of course, in social media land, we have what is referred to as Throwback Thursday. So let me participate. Right there's the play right there. Let me participate. Revelations 9, chapter 9, verse 15. I didn't throw those picks. You did. It's not me. It's you. I didn't put that tape out there. You did. I say that. Why is that the theme for today? Why is that the theme for today? Well, because as I said before, and I'll say it again, there are two things that I must accomplish with this show. Number one, first and foremost, again, I have an obligation to the culture of this league, right? To keep it true. And I will. And I do. Number two, I can only talk about what has been provided via chat, via another player and what his thoughts may be, or what you put on that tape. I'm only going off of that. So, I understand. Like it's not the best feeling being on here and being the subject when you lose by 30 points or you lose to a team that you maybe shouldn't have lost to, or you just have a piss poor performance. We can just keep it real. I understand that. However, again, this is why all these things matter because these rules that I abide by as far as this show, these rules respect nobody. These rules don't even respect me. So if I come out looking terrible, and that's whether I'm Houston or not, it's a standard I have upheld myself to throughout my time in this league, right? As one of the premier players in this league, there's a standard that follows me. And there's a standard beyond what follows me. There's a standard I have for myself. I don't care where I go. I am expected to, and I expect to myself, perform. And I will. But if I don't, I will be on here talking about me not performing at the level that I should, whether that's via post game press conference, whether that's on the actual No Wellin podcast. It don't really matter. But everybody's feet is being held to the fire this year, including my own. So, I just as easily as I could sit here and say, if I were to be, have a trash week, then I will sit here and hold myself accountable. we can look around the league right now. Manny might be on 2 with Buffalo. And he just these safeties, bro. Like the corners are one thing. And the reason I picked Manny to win the division is because the way his safeties, Poyer and Hyde, were reacting to passes was like, that's two superstar and or X Factor players. I'm not sure. I think they're both superstar, but at minimum, I know at minimum that's what they are. And they break on the ball. Now watch Kevin Byard right here. Y'all better wake up, man, because you got to know. You got to know. Like, I understand, I understand full well when we roll into Denver week 2, whether that be tomorrow, whether that be Sunday, I'm playing a savvy opponent in Mark, a guy who has accomplished major things in this league. That the accolades, they run long. The accolade list is vast, right? But I know full well Justin Simmons might just do what Kevin Byard did if I'm not careful. And I'm locked in on it. I know that Patrick Surtain might have to feel locked on or just on lock, like Stephon Gilmore did week 1. I'm tuned into it though. And for a lot of y'all, I'm gonna just flat out say it because it's the truth. Hey, Bean, that's a good win. I ain't even obviously is your divisional opponent. I came in hoping to see you on the wrong end of this score, but credit be what credit's due, and that's a strong win. That's a strong win. Like them boys in Tennessee, yeah, they're pretty tough. So, I know we play those 2 times a year. I know this young defense, this young team, period. We got our work cut out for us, and that's fine. That's what I would have no other way. But that's what I was saying. I'm gonna tell y'all flat out, why not? Y'all better watch y'all go in this football because week 1, what I saw, I ain't worried about none of y'all throwing the ball in the air. I'm gonna just keep it real. Ain't that over here? Ain't that over here? I'm just saying what probably most of y'all thinking. It don't matter who throwing the ball right now. I'm not overly concerned. Simple and plain. Because at the end of it, what's going to happen is it's no either. What's going to happen inevitably for 95% of y'all going to make the wrong read eventually. Either that or you're not going to be able to help yourself and you're going to do something stupid and I'm going to take advantage. Or you're going to do something stupid and your opponent's going to take advantage. We've seen it all week 1. Look at go to the games in Washington, Houston, Seattle, wherever, like Tennessee, Arizona, Charlotte, Carolina, like it's happening league wide, y'all, from the top of the top to the bottom feeders, quote unquote. Nobody's safe. Did you see yesterday? I didn't see much of it, but I came back retroactively and watched a little bit. This is in both cases, Cleveland and Carolina. Like, I mean, I can't again. I can't speak on the inner workings of what goes on in the player's experience. So like Reggie with the internet, Manny with the internet, it doesn't. I don't know, right? As the game's over, I was a good one by Bean, but I can't speak to the inner workings of what a player's experiencing in real time on their side. All I can say is I see, so I see what's going on that field. And that's all I can really comment on. And Jesus, man, like going tit for tat, and he, continue where he picked up from the other day against Reggie. And it's only 1 week, but now like Reggie being one of the better passers, like we gotta take the microscope and really check out and see how we going to perform moving forward. I mean, it's only a week. It's only one game, but now the film and the tape is out there for the masses, right? And we just looking to see how you bounce back. Flash is like the same way. He didn't play nearly to his play style. Now, could that be him acclimating to the game? Sure, probably is. But again, the tape is a tape, and they don't lie. And he played, rather conservative compared to how he usually does. Simple and plain. So I what more do you want me to say? Like what more do you want me to say? I just don't understand how y'all are going to survive. A lot of y'all are going to survive this season. I mean, forget your opponent. Forget the opponent. It don't matter who you play if you beat yourself. You know, Evans tirade against EA Sports. And Madden itself continues. But what does it matter when you throw 5 interceptions and 1 touchdown? It ain't gonna matter. Certainly not against a player that thrives on that or a good opponent. Like it's not gonna matter. Y'all need to get it together. Simple and plain. Like there's not much that I saw league wide to really be fearful of, and I think a lot of y'all probably thinking the same thing. Like even Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. There's no reason B shouldn't have that game won, regardless of his like acclamation where he's at with that in terms of the game. Hey, that game won. There's no reason Daryl should have been even up at halftime. If we're being honest, like if we're really being truthful about it, B should have had that game won multiple times over. I mean, it was legit like the real life Steelers versus Bengals. Like in the past, just so how can you worry about beating your opponents when you can't even overcome yourself? I'm not saying that about B in particular. I'm saying that as general. I have questions. Can somebody provide me the answers on the tape? Like not the appearances in the show and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. No. Where's the translation from saying it to doing it? Like where's the translation from the words to the game? Like from the lip service to these hands work, right? These hands work, right? I need to see more of this, y'all. Like I'm just keeping it true. Because for the ones that are talking, right? And look, I'm saying this, y'all should feel no pressure. Y'all should feel no pressure because I'm running the show, right? And I gotta come on here and talk about all 31 other people plus myself. And I gotta be honest throughout, right? And now, yes, if there's something I'm missing, or there's something that maybe I don't have, maybe you can offer a greater level of context on than myself, then come on. Floor is open for anybody. Whenever I do these shows, like I might have a guest lined up, but anybody can join at any time. It don't matter to me. But what I'm saying is that tape is the bottom line. Ain't no fine print. I'm telling you what the fine print is now. Everybody is subject to whatever shows up when your stream comes up or when you're on the stream as a visitor for the home team. Whatever comes on the tape will prevail at the end of the day. And if you talking that talk and that tape don't match what you rapping about in private, maybe not even in private, maybe in public, maybe on the show, maybe in the chat. But if it ain't adding up, what you think will happen on here? I keep it real with everybody. And I understand the level of recoil that may occur because I'm in the league obviously as well, and I'm Houston Texans, right? So we're talking worst team in the game, and that was my decision. I could have been to Las Vegas, didn't want to go, been there, done that. I could have been to New England. I told you I wasn't going there. And I could have been in Minnesota. I don't like playing indoors. So here we are, right? I can build it from scratch. And that's how I prefer. I don't need none of the abilities, none of that. I mean, when they come, and they will, but when they come, they come. But I understand that in holding y'all's feet to the fire and just giving just unabashed advice, not even advice, but just like feedback or in reflection on the game, I understand that may be taken as bulletin board material for some of y'all because I'm just keeping it so real to where somebody might get offended. Call it what it is, right? Or, it's like, okay, he picked me to lose this week, right? Like I picked Arizona to beat Kansas City week one. I picked Mays to beat Will. When you think about that from the historical context, that is no like it wouldn't have taken anybody really that long to have made that selection. But I did. And Will won. And apparently that was maybe a motivating factor. Fair enough. Hey, look, I'm just supplying the information. Use it how you please. And like I told Kerm, like I've told everybody on the show before, if you win, and I did not pick you to win, but you come through and you play masterful football and you win, especially in convincing fashion, then I will sit here around this show the same way I delivered the information beforehand. If I'm wrong, I come back on here and say, hey, look, I gave you no chance of winning, and you did. Jesus was the same way. Like I didn't think he was going to win that game week one, but whatever the circumstances were, bottom line was he did. And now we're on to week two. So, with that being said, here we go. Week two, swap selections. Let's go back to the schedule. Let's take it back real quick, and then I gotta get ready for work because there is real life Thursday night football tonight. Chargers and Chiefs. I can't wait. Now, let's look at the schedule. Let me make sure. Hold on. Let me just stop the share. Now I'm gonna reshare to make sure that y'all rolling with me on this. All right. Week two swap selections. I don't got time to put them in a write up. So I'm gonna give them to you like this. Schedules. Come on. Also, y'all got too much I think about Kenny this year, man. I think he could be. I think he'll be in the playoffs. Like I think he could win. Looking at his schedule, 11 sounds about right. 10, 11. If he don't get in his way, but it's going to be them tricky opponents: the Phils, the Mikeys, the Jeremys, perhaps. Among others, Mays, he'll be there. Kerm, now we got to talk about that. Jose, we'll see how he bounces back before Kenny and Jose play week 7. We'll see. I mean, it's early, man. It's early, so we'll see. But I do think though that if Dallas is good, and just like how Dallas was good for the league, if Kenny good and he had a good record, oh man, these numbers ain't gonna way up. But we shall see. We'll see how he rebounds from that big loss. And again, it's no excuses anywhere. So with that being said, week 2 swap selections. Bears Packers, give me Phil. That should be easy. Bengals Cowboys. I'm just is Kenny really gonna lose 2 in a row? Now, he and Daryl have history because they shared a division the last time we were all active. And Daryl's 1-0. That was a good win. And I picked that win. That was, I guess, like my quote unquote upset win of the week. I picked that win and he won. But the way he got there was just so I don't trust it. In short, I'm going with Kenny week 2. I think he'll right his wrongs enough to take home the victory. Now, Mikey and Chris, a game of the week candidate, right? That's a good game. Damn, that's a good game. I'm going to roll. Chris had a masterful performance. Jameis Winston only missed 1 pass last week, but that was against Greg, and that was Greg's first game in the league. There's a lot to be determined as far as how Greg his skill set. I didn't really watch much of it, so I don't know really still much about Greg as it pertains to the league. I love his boxing mind though. Greg, salute. I'm so glad you're not part of the Beehive because we got enough. We got Twan, we got C's, we got Jose, and they all just sing Canelo's praises and all that. Like no matter what the guy does, no matter what bum he faces with a good record, and it's like, oh, Billy Joe Saunders was 29-0 or whatever. Like we knew he was getting knocked out. Caleb Plant was 20-0, 19-0, whatever. We knew he was getting knocked out, right? And they keep trying to tell me that this guy is taking the biggest challenges. He went to fight Sergey Kovalev. The guy wasn't even a crusher anymore. Let's keep that in mind. He wasn't even K2 anymore. The guy was old, faded, and beat up from all those Andre Ward fights, and we know that. So when he gets knocked out, as we all knew was going to happen, they say, oh, he's a 4-time champion, or 4 weight class champion. No, he's not. So stop it. All right, Greg, they have told me since the night of Triple G Canelo #1 that Saul Alvarez won that fight. Now, being that you're a great boxing mind, I know that about you already. Also, free invitation to join the show whenever you want. We can officially introduce you to the league if you like at any point. Just let me know. But they've been talking and believing this lie for 5 years now. A half decade. I can't reverse their minds. Their minds have been poisoned beyond repair as it pertains to the sport of boxing. Hey, it's fine. I'm glad you're not of that contingent. And maybe, just maybe, C's told me, we would be a great tandem for a show. So maybe, just maybe, we can collaborate and we can use our pure boxing minds, not the poison kind, but the pure kind. And we can collaborate to get these guys to understand the truth about the sport of boxing as it pertains to Saul Alvarez. Anyway, Chris and Mikey, potential game of the week. I say all that to say, Chris looked magnificent week 1 against you, Grant, but that was your first game in the league. Mikey looked pretty magnificent himself week 1 versus Kenny. From what I know, I don't know much about your game, Greg, to this point, so I have to, by default, say I've seen Kenny from day 1. I will say right now, Kenny has a better team, and we'll see about better player. But from what I know, I think Mikey's win might be just more impressive given who it came against, even though Kenny might have been jet lagged. But 52 points is 52 points, right? So it's going to be a great game. But give me Tampa Bay right now. Give me Tampa, and we'll see what happens as the South continues. But Chris is a damn good player, though, so that's going to be a good one. Mays Nako. Mays can't go 0-2, can he? I don't think he. I think he's going to reel it back in. I think whatever development he was going for last week is behind him now. And now I think we're going to start seeing the James Mays that we all know and remember as, the greatest player in this league's history. Give me road team over Nako. But Nako, I say this though, Nako got some, the intellect is starting to come about. Like the inner workings of the game, he's starting to understand and develop an acumen for the game. And I see it and I respect that. I just don't think it's going to be enough to win week 2. Will versus Mark. Will, here's redemption, sir. I'm taking Kansas City because I've seen your progression, right? And we've spoken about this before. I've seen your progression from where you came in when you started in the league to where you are now. I respect it. I need to see from Mark that he doesn't have like too much, I don't want to say firepower, but you know what I mean? Too much talent for his own good. Like, is the case with Chargers Mark, the same as it is with Manny, where it's like, I have all this talent, and because of that, I think I can skate a certain way, and I'm going to be a little more reckless in my decision-making, and it might cost me. My team might not be able to elevate me as much as we perhaps thought. I don't know. But it's a question that can be posed after week one. And until I see otherwise, I have no choice but to believe that might be, a smidget true at minimum. Give me the Chiefs, week two. Um, Give me the Chiefs. I don't know if that's an upset or not, but that's why I'm going. I'm going with the home team. So Dez and Evan, Dez out of town. Otherwise, I had Dez winning this game. But the only reason Evan's going to be 500 is because Dez can't play. So that's a moot point there. Twan Jose. Two teams that just got slaughtered in week one. I trust Jose more right now. It's simple and plain. 8 interceptions. I don't care how they came. 8 interceptions just isn't enough. And this is we have here, ladies and gentlemen, the Saul Alvarez Beehive Bowl. Washington at Detroit, right? It's fight week. It's fight week. And what better way to officially ring in fight week than have two of the biggest to the point of delusion, two of the biggest Saul Alvarez fans, right? Head to head versus one another. So in this one, I trust Jose. I think Jose's floor is higher than Twan's floor right now. So give me Detroit. Next, we got two teams that need to win a game in the AFC. Flash in his home debut in Baltimore will play against Brandon, the Dolphins. Now, I don't know what Brandon's quarterback situation is looking like. I don't know the inner workings of what's going on in Miami, but I do know this. I need to see if there's things I just need to see that, that's only 1 week, but I don't know. I was skeptical about this draft pick, even. Obviously it makes sense with the youth and the talent, but I'm like, is it a user team? Is that team user friendly for him? Is there a mesh point between team and user? I don't know. I still have questions. I have less questions about Flash mainly because his quarterback situation works a lot better for him at minimum. And I don't know. He's still getting acclimated to the game. It's another toss up, but give me Baltimore. Give me Baltimore. Lamar Jackson is just. When it comes down to it, Teddy Bridgewater, Lamar Jackson, I'm going with number 8, the former MVP, right? Going Lamar Jackson. Give me Baltimore. Falcons, Rams. Kerm. You hear me? Like, do I need to say more? 46-6. 46-6. And then again, Greg's still getting acclimated. I don't think this is tailor made for Kerm to win and to like develop his consistency as far as it goes in the league. So here's your chance, big dog, 2-0. I got you winning. Let's see it happen. Jets, Browns, Reggie, Nick. We have to believe Reggie's going to come back, right? Because now there's that. I don't want to say humiliation, but I think we can say we didn't expect that to happen in Charlotte with Carolina and Jesus. I don't think we expect that to happen twice. You know what I'm saying? Like, once is enough, let alone 2 times. Like they ran the rematch back. Again, I don't know the inner workings on either side, but from what I saw in the tape, they ran it back, and Jesus was right there in lockstep, if not better, right? If not ahead, if not leading that, that back and forth. So I think it's 1 week, and Reg says he's moved on from it. He's on week 2. We'll see. 1 week is too early to lose faith in a lot of these teams I've pegged as favorites for the season, and I'm going Cleveland. It's right there for the taking against the 1-0 Nick, who had a win, a good one against the Ravens. That was a nice win, and it gets no easier for him in week 2. So I'm going Cleveland, and if I'm surprised again, then I'm just surprised again. I'll be the first one to say it right here on the show live. Tone versus Jesus. Yeah. Panthers, Giants. Mm, I say it's about Tone. As hit or miss as the offense can be, I think defensively he matches well with what Jesus will want to do. Now, granted, Matt Corral in the sim got player of the week, right? But he do for like in the sim, right? To specify because context matters here. Game management matters. Context matters, right? So Matt Corral got player of the week in his 402 yards passing in the sim, right? Because of how the games with him and Reg played out, obviously it didn't go full. So that's fine and dandy. But I'm not expecting a 400-yard game from Jesus in the wild. And if he's actually like playing like a full game throughout, like I wouldn't expect that. And I do expect, however, Tone's defense kind of offset what Jesus wants to do more than the other way around. So give me the Giants, man. Giants 2-0. At least that's how I see it playing out. And that's what I'm rolling with. Giants at MetLife over the Carolina Panthers. Patriots Steelers, give me tie. Um, B looked good in spots but I just trust Ty more. Ty is again, if we're talking floors in the league, Ty had there are probably I know for certain with full certainty I can say there are not 10 higher floors than Ty in the league. Like just like wherever the placements are as far as teams, you give everybody whatever. Ty, you know what you're getting. He's a proven commodity, and B used to be at one point. We just keep it real, but now it's much more of like a box of chocolates. So for that reason, I'm going with what I trust, and I trust Ty to perform, and I think he'll win. 2-0, New England. At least that's how I see it. Seahawks 49ers. Seas has his quarterback apparently for, I'm guessing, the cycle in Kellen Mond. And there were some good things that came out of there. It's just, it's a learning curve, like with him, or it's a development curve rather. Um, Still in all, I think he has enough to beat his own flesh and blood in Edgar. I just Edgar struggled against JT, and I think C's is above JT at this point in time. So it's just it just adds up. That's just what it is. Give me Seattle unless C's just doesn't want to win. Myself and Mark, I don't really pick my games on swap selections, and it'll remain as such. Just know that it should be a good game. And if any of y'all want to chime in on that game and make the pick, feel free. But we're going in looking to become 1-0 this week, just like we did last week. And it's plain and simple. Uphill battle. Denver's a good team. Mark's a good owner, good user. But we got history, and it's going to be what it's going to be, like it always is. Titans Bills, save that for later. We go and touch back on that, but we just saw the game. So Buffalo 0-2. Vikings Eagles. That's Jix. That's Jeremy. Jeremy wins. You just added up. Phil lost 52-14. If Jix lost 52-14 to Phil, you have to like pull like I don't know what's more painful. Phil getting to the point where he needs to pass the ball or pulling a wisdom tooth. I've never experienced either. So Phil only throwing that ball 12 times, and y'all know this. And y'all know this. It's common knowledge. He's only throwing that ball as much as he has to. He's not really throwing it because he wants to at any point in the past damn near decade. We know that. So how can I take if Jix lost to that, right? That's just Green Bay. You saw what Philly did week one. You know the potency that the Eagles have, and they got a pretty good user too, a pretty good player in Jeremy. It's gonna be a slow start in Minnesota, but Philly starting fast. All right, if That's it. That's swap selections for the week. Week 2, running back. Again, we'll be here to discuss it as the games happen. But we're back, man. Week 2. Kenny, shout out to him for coming on the show. And hey, we looking for big things out of Dallas and multiple other teams. It's a lot of y'all that gotta get back on track week 2. And for some of y'all, it's about taking this momentum that you got from week 1 and pushing it forward. Because let me say this before I get up on out of here, because I'm not even ready for work yet. But I held off on power rankings. I held off on power rankings until like week 6, right? Let's give enough of a sample time, because the last thing I want to do is be one of those people that's like, after 1 week, oh, such and such is leading the division. Who cares? Like, it's 1 week, right? We could say, Kerm and Edgar are tied for first place in the NFC West. Does it really matter in a week? So, let's just get a little more time to let the hierarchies of the league play out. Let's see. So week 6 will be the first power rankings. Expect that. So expect everything like the next couple weeks, and we'll discuss more then. Because I didn't even have preseason power rankings, so how could I just go and instantly put like Kerm or somebody at like number 1 where I didn't even have like a base point to start with? So there it is. It's week 2. Enjoy. Hope you guys play to the best of your abilities. It's not beating yourselves, Like, I'm gonna put that on the billboard. Like, I might take Kenny's idea. I probably won't, but come on, guys. Let's lock in. Yeah, it's way too many interceptions. Like lock in. Be better for yourselves, not me. For yourselves. Otherwise, I gotta get on the show and talk about it. And I don't want to keep talking bad about 80% of the teams in the league. But hey, if that's what you offer me, then that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm fine with whatever. And that's what it is. So we back, man. Season 2, episode 5. A quick episode, but an episode nonetheless. I told you I was giving y'all content this year, and we're gonna be consistent. And here we are. So let's keep it rolling. Good luck in week 2, and we'll be back real soon for more of what y'all did, not me. Y'all did it. I'm just here talking about it. But I got my own work to do too, and it starts, or it continues rather, at Mile High in week 2. So